Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. We're back. We're kind of hanging in there, barely at all. Yeah, health has not been the best for me these last couple of days, but I had to make a video as Play Hearthstone tweeted out this later teaser image. I'll link it down below because we're not going to go over the Battlegrounds changes, but there's going to be, by the looks of it, 3 nerfs, 2 buffs, and a bunch of Battleground changes. This patch will be going live tomorrow, so there'll be patch notes tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be up and ready to upload a patch notes video going over the exact change, because we don't know the exact changes. These are just teasers, but it's better to know nothing, right? Or better to know something than nothing at all. My brain is not going to be exactly all there today. But if you take a look at the image, you can see 3 direct nerfs, and then it looks like changes. I don't think the Azurite Snake's going to be a buff. It's going to be more like a reworking. But yeah, I just want to give a quick update before we go into the cards. The last couple days I have been missing. Health has not been great. I've been in a really rough shape. I'm surprised I'm recording this, but I've gotten a ton of support from you guys, a lot of loving comments, and I just want to thank you. It helps out a ton. And it's nice to know that, you know, even if I'm gone for a couple of days, it's not the end of the world. So thank you all so much for that. So the first card getting nerfed, as most people would have expected, Blind Eye Sharpshooter, the Demon Hunter Naga, 3 mana, 1/5. After you play a Naga, deal 2 damage to a random enemy, then draw a spell. And draw a spell, then switch. So then you would draw a Naga after you play a spell, right? Fuels itself, it can literally OTK on turn 3 in absurd situations, but still, a 3-drop that can OTK in any situation is probably not healthy for the game. There's a lot of contention, controversy over should it be just nerfed by its health so you can't just tempo it, or should it just be like 4 mana, or the damage put to 1? Personally, I think it goes to 4 mana. I could even see going to 4 mana 1/4, but the fact that they don't note multiple changes on here makes me think it's either just a mana or a health reduction. I would probably just bump it to 4. It's still probably really playable and frustrating, but at 3, it is just ridiculous. It's just completely ridiculous, and a type of gameplay that the majority, I feel like, of players don't like in the game. We saw that in Stormwind, we saw that with Quest. It's very similar to that style where you just kind of watch and die, and that's not really fun. And even if they don't kill you, you're usually so low health that they just finish you off the next turn, right? Like, oh, I cleared it, that's fine, I'm still dead. Like, clearing it's not the big deal, in my opinion. Maybe Higher Legend's a different story, but pretty much everybody I watch or when I've played, once this is played, I either win or lose pretty quickly, and it's not determined on the health of it. It's whether how much they popped off. So I'm very happy that they're quickly addressing this card. Another card that I figured at some point would get nerfed, and it looks like it is getting nerfed. Always a bigger Jormonger, the 1 mana hunter spell. Always a bigger Jormonger, right? Give a minion +2 attack and excess damage dealt by attacks hits the hero. It's insane with Cleave. With all the hand buffs that Hunter's gotten recently, it's just put it over the top where it's like just a very non-interactive strategy. It's very reminiscent of Sinful Brand, where you just got outright punished for playing minions. I'm guessing this just gives, they're going to do a 2 mana increase, don't kill the card. +1 attack I don't think does a lot. I just think making it slightly less flexible probably helps out. It also destroys Odd Hunter and Wild, because they definitely run this card. They don't, but I just, even when I'm sick, I gotta be sassy. But yeah, we'll see what the change is tomorrow. But again, another really feels bad card. Any card that like legitimately just punishes you for playing minions in a minion-based game just feels really bad. And we've seen that multiple times, and pretty much every time it's been nerfed or addressed in some way. So I know a lot of people will be happy about that. And yes, Paladin's getting nerfed, but not in a lot of ways people would probably predict. Order in the Court is the only Paladin card that's getting changed. It is a 2 mana spell. Reorder your deck from highest cost to lowest cost, draw a card. This card was made when Paladin was really terrible, and it was like just brute force, insane, busted card. It's Lorekeeper of Polkelt for 2 mana that also draws a card. There's like not really much of a downside to playing it, right? Like, it's just ridiculous. You always get your good stuff, super flexible, and it's a card that, yeah, just it slots into everything. And then you always get, you know, your Light Rays or your Countesses or your Titan, or in Wild your hero card or Reno or whatever. It's just so flexible, right? And there's other cards that definitely could have been hit for Paladin, like Prismatic Beam Showdown. You get 3 3/3s. Your opponent gets 3 3/3s, but it costs 2 mana. It could cost 3, right? Prismatic Beam could go up to 8, so it doesn't cost 0. I feel like this is probably not going to be the last of the Paladin changes, but it's a very impactful one. This is a very strong card in pretty much every Paladin deck. And yeah, I don't know what else you're doing other than increasing the mana cost. So unless they're taking just the draw card off of it, they could do that too. Just 2 mana, reorder your deck, make it Polk out. But again, I think people will be happy to see Paladin getting scaled down because it is dominant at like all ranks. But I didn't get to do my nerf prediction video. I would have probably mentioned Prismatic Beam. For Demon Hunter, it would have been Sharp Eye. I think Jormungandr was a good hit. I'm surprised Mage isn't hit. There's no Mage nerf like the Creation Protocol, or not Creation Protocol, the mech, the 4-mana mech AoE. Like, I feel like that shouldn't start with damage. It should amplify for every spell school you played. Same with Sif. I feel like those are 2 cards to look out for that. Yeah, Rainbow Mage might be pretty terrifying because like most of its counters are getting nerfed. And it's pretty non-interactive in its own way. At least it OTKs you pretty late, like turns 8, 9, 10. But those are cards that I would have suggested that did not happen. But the nice thing about an early expansion that's happening like mid-November, there's still like 3 weeks left in the business days for Blizzard. So there's probably going to be another balance patch before the holidays. So if you're worried about everything, I don't think this is the end of it. And yeah, 2 cards, I guess, being reworked, buffed, whatever you want to talk about. Defense Attorney Nathanos, which has seen very little play. It's a little bit of play in like Big Beast Hunter. 6 mana, 5/4, a legendary minion, Battlecry. You discover a friendly Death Rattle minion that died this game. You trigger and gain its Death Rattle. If we look at the graphic, they're showing one thing moving up, one thing going down. So my assumption is the mana cost will go down, right? And the stats will go down. Or they could make it more mana and like discover 2 Death Rattles. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this one. 2 things are being changed, so it looks like, I mean, it's not an outlier. This is not a problematic card at the moment, so it's definitely getting buffed. Just weird. It feels very random. Like, you know what? We're gonna buff this one card. We're just gonna buff it. So yeah, if you're a Hunter fan of the Death Rattle archetype, you might have an additional tool to use. And then of course the Azurite Snake here, right? Like we all know this is getting changed. This graphic here is not right. It's currently 6 mana. And again, the graphic shows something going up, something going down. I mean, it could be going back to 4 mana, and then your hero steals like 7 health, or it does life steal or something. I feel like they'll make it so that you can't just bounce it 3 times and win against a non-Renathal, non-life stealing deck. Slow it down. That's basically what the 6 mana change did, right? Like you can't bounce it in the same turn. So we'll see what they do. I feel like they're going to play it pretty safe with this card. The negative feedback on this card was super high. Myself very much included, especially theory crafting. I was extremely unhappy about it, and I let them know privately and all that. So it's nice that they take that feedback, and feel like a lot less complaints. People are still complaining about the card at 6. So that's how contentious this card is. And again, we'll see what the official rework is tomorrow. Should be around 10 a.m. Pacific. I'll try and upload again around then. I appreciate all you guys' support. It's been a trying last few days, but you guys are awesome. Thank you for that. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay healthy, my friends.